Good evening. It is Monday night, which is mental mind treatment time. I want to say and welcome to everybody that is already in here in my room, as you might say, as here. Today, as usual, I have a little insight card from my God books box, not books. Boy, okay. I'm tired today. You know what I did? I sat up last night till 3 o'clock in the morning watching the end of Manifest on Netflix. I've had 2 naps, probably 2.5 naps today already. All of them interrupted. But anyway, and so it was like, oh, get your brain straight, get your brain straight. I wanted to read this because I find these always give me insight, a little bit about what's coming up, what's going on. And this is, I trust my higher self. I listen with love to my inner voice. Loving oneself on the inside is really, really important, because when we're listening to the outside voices, very often I find is that people have listened to them and give them more input, as though what they have to say is more important than what you think, feel, or understand. And on the backside of this card, it says, within every problem lie the seeds of its own solution. And that's something to really think about, because usually it's there. So I'm happy to welcome a few people. Catherine, how nice to have you on. Let me see. I've got a request tonight. I'd like some help releasing old past life beliefs, patterns, and sorry, I'm laughing because it's like, yeah, this is going to be like an hour and a half session just on that, but we'll see what we can do. I would like if you could give me 3 numbers between 1 and 22 to help with that, where I need to focus, because it's a big topic. And as I said, usually when we do that work, it's up to an hour at least, usually an hour and a half. Good evening, Marion. Thank you. Okay, Catherine, good. I've got yours there now. I'm just going to write. I've got so many written in crests here. I've got to change I just like to write them down so I remember. 3, 12, 15. It's about releasing old beliefs. We'll say old beliefs, okay? That's what I kind of pick up. But let's see what we say here, Catherine. And the rest of you, I'll be here soon, and I really appreciate you coming in. As you may have noticed from Sunday, I am changing to be doing everything live this week, and this time at 7. The other 2 shows, Wednesday Talk and a Sunday Thought, will both be at 9 in the morning. So that will make my life probably a little bit easier. So Catherine, you picked 3, 12, and 15. The 3 is the lovingness, and that is the sense of you to love and to be to put out everything that you can. And there's also here with the 12 showing the key is to accept. And I think my sense is, as I look here, is that you want to see or want to come to terms with what is out there is the same as what is in here, which is in you. But there is a lot of uncertainty about it. There's a lot of emotion, a sense of, what am I supposed to be doing here? Where is this going? A lot of emotion. And so there, I think from personally, is that a lot of what's happening a lot here. And that's why some of the old beliefs and patterns that are there, that are regenerate time and time again, is the need to accept, this is me. And I think on lots of levels that is true, but I think also for what you're asking for, that sometimes to look at some of those harder subjects of self becomes a little bit more difficult. So I'm just going to I just want to make sure we do this, though I don't lose everybody in here. So I want to bring that back up to where I'm there. Okay, good. I'm good there. I'm just going to say, Catherine had written something else here, although This unfortunately is a very small print for me to read. Let them go. I still feel them playing out in my life. Yes, I understand that. And a lot of that is, I think, because of the outside versus the inside, and you trying to accept everything and relate to everything. And I don't know that you can do that. But let's see. When we do treatment, who knows what comes up? Everything shifts and changes. I know there is one power and I know there is one essence, and I speak my word for Catherine. And as I speak my word for Catherine, I know that old beliefs that have come through long, long time, a lot of ages, is that it is time to release. It is time to come into newness. It is time, and I get the word bravery, to be brave in being you. The lovingness that you have, the element of that, what you have, that all these old beliefs, attitudes that come along and get ingrained, that even though they are at deep levels within your subconscious, is that if you shine light on them, if you can be aware of them and you shine light, that lovingness, that loving force on them, that they have to dispel, they have to release, they have to let go. Personally, that's what I do with people that I work with. But you can do that when you have an understanding of love, which you do, to be able to bring that through, so that anything that you become aware of and are familiar with, you can just shed a lot of light on it and it will automatically just dissipate. The thing is not to worry about it, not think, oh, where did that come from? What did I do? How did I get that? Yes, we make decisions that create beliefs, but we can shed light on it and forgive ourselves for that decision, or accept it. Yes, accept it as part of it, but I feel also a level of self-forgiveness and not worry about it. It's about releasing and letting go and knowing that that is the truth of being. And so, as I know that within the essence here, when we release this thought, knowing that it is done, that old beliefs, old attitudes are going to have to come forward to be released. They're going to have to come visual in the sense of understanding them and in the letting go. And I give thanks in the knowing of this for Catherine. I give thanks in knowing that it is a sense of being aware and breathing out and just forgiving yourself for beliefs that we made in another time in another place. And so as we clear this, I just give the blessing of saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. And I hope that helps, Catherine. Karen, my dear, how nice to see you. I would like a treatment for feeling more united in myself. And it's for 21 and 14. I like the word united within myself. It's like becoming one. When we talk about oneness, it really is about becoming as one. I know there is one power, and I know that there is one essence. And I know with the 3 numbers that Karen gave me, that there is a sense of being stuck when we're wanting balance. It's all about balance, about understanding that nothing is absolutely perfect, perhaps is the best word to say this. It's like there is always balancing, but we want the balance line to be little. When it's a little balance is easiest. When it's a big balance, oh, that gets tough. And I just think loving yourself here is really important. To have a united self is to love it all, to bring it all in and love it all, and not get critical or upset because you've responded a certain way, because you want and need balance. And being united, it's accepting all of it and not rejecting part of it. I feel, take a look at what you reject or what you maybe don't like about yourself or you wish was different, or however that looks. Just accept it and allow the balance that you have here, which is wonderful, to allow you to just love that part of you that maybe you wish you didn't have, but you do have it. And so love it and then release it and let it go. So let's see what the treatment says. Knowing there is one power and the one essence, and that in that power I am able to speak my word for Karen. I know that I can be united within myself in every level, in every system, in every part, in every aspect of me. That deep in my subconscious, it naturally just lets go of anything that is not for my highest and best. That I call upon the highest and best for me as I move forward, knowing that I have balance and clarity and awareness, and the lovingness of myself moves out into the world so that I see things from a different perspective. I give thanks in knowing that I am moving into this awareness of balance and ease and awareness of being in such a different and new way as I unite, as I become whole, as I become a sense of purpose and awareness. I give thanks by saying, as I release this thought, by knowing that Karen has that wonderful balance and understanding and just not criticizing or feeling bad, but rather accepting and relaxing so that the self has time and place to become united. We give thanks, and as we let this go by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, Karen, my dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Maggie G, nice to see you. Good evening. Norma, you are looking lovely. Thank you. Yes, as I said earlier, I'm still a little sleep deprived. Love the pink. Thanks. My numbers tonight are 2, 5, and 20. And okay, let's see where that takes us then, Maggie. 2 is all about decision, balance, trying to decide. I find it the deciding factor. And 5 is needing more knowledge. And that's because if we look at it a different way, the mind can get all confused because it's like, which way do I go? Do I go this way or do I go that way? And 20 is about acceptance. So what have we got here? Which is basically the end result of the 2s, 11, and 20. But so let me just see what we get here. I know there is one power in one essence, and I speak my word for Maggie. As I speak my word for Maggie, I know that making a decision can be a very important element about balancing what I want and what I don't want in my life. As I speak my word for you, I speak in the I. I know that as I move forward, I have knowledge, I have awareness, I have people that I can speak to. I can gain that knowledge and awareness. And so I can decide easily the direction and the purpose and the alignment that I am wanting to create and to do. And as I do that, everything comes into focus so that I'm able to accept, to understand, to bring forward the essence of being. This is an opportunity of great change, of inner calm, inner peace, inner awareness that is already there, but has an opportunity to really put out into the outside world to make it a wonderful, wonderful thing of being. I give thanks for Maggie. I give thanks in the knowing that decisions are made that use them with using the knowledge and the awareness so that there is a whole acceptance level that goes on here. And it's like going from 1 to 10. It's like a step, and it's a freeing step. It's a freeing step because there's the recognition of who you are and what you really do know and what you really have. I give thanks in the knowing of this as we move this on to the direction of where you're heading and where you're going and what you're doing. So blessings to you, Maggie. CJ, hello. Norma, I better put my name in there. Hello, Norma. I will change my numbers tonight. Again, I would like to know more about my psychic abilities. You said to tell you the numbers I see them often, and they are 11, 33, and 44. Oh, yeah. Okay. 11, 33, and 44. Those are your numbers, not my numbers, but that's okay. So what are we looking? CJ and psychic abilities. I find it interesting that you're asking about psychic abilities because you know what you have. I think it's more about incorporating them because with the 11 it's always committing to a path, and with the 33 and the 44 and any double numbers that you have is always that's not the right word, exaggerating, making bigger, making more of the power of the number. So they're, yes, very spiritual numbers. Now let's talk about spirituality and psychic. Psychic is an ability that we're born with that we can utilize to see and know, and there are many different abilities, believe me. But it's to see and know beyond what is visible. What is visible? The spiritual side is the philosophy. As a metaphysician that I am, I see that's philosophy that's in a metaphysical point of view. And what I see here in the psychic abilities, you know your psychic abilities. And it's a matter of trust. Trust that you're connected. Trust that you're given the appropriateness, the correctness, the awareness, so that you are able to verbalize. It's like learning how to verbalize them in a sense of how people can understand, can be aware, all of those things. Just being aware of the sense of direction of where you're heading and where you're going. So let me just say this in the sense of, as I move into treatment, I know for CJ that this is a matter of trust in the self, in your own knowingness, in the universe or your environment, to have those answers and those awarenesses of the direction that you're moving in. This is not about your abilities. This is about you trusting your abilities, your awareness of your abilities, and the commitment to the work, commitment to the two sides of the work, the psychic part and the spiritual part. They come together to be able to create an avenue of completeness in all things. I give thanks in the knowledge of this. I give thanks in knowing that CJ will make that step into absolute awareness of her own abilities and direction. And as I release this thought, I give thanks by saying, and so it is. Amen. Very good. Catherine says, thank you. Karen says, thanks for the insight. I reject a lot of myself. No, sweetie. I did a healing circle for you last night again. Thank you. Yeah, well, I was awake, that's for sure, having an enjoyable time with my watching this show. Yes, thank you. Things are coming along. There's shifts and changes, but I appreciate you doing that. It all helps me for sure. It all helps me for sure. Okay, where are we here now? I've got my big list too. Hi, Justine. How good to see you. Oh, I've got some changes in dates when I'm up to take a look at your show too. So we'll talk about that another time. Maggie says, thank you and blessings. I take them all, believe me. Oh, here she is, Justine. I would like to ask for a mental mind treatment on financial prosperity. I'm looking for a stable job now, moving away from the gig life. Numbers are 3, 22, and 8. Okay, 3, 22, and 8. Okay. Prosperity. I'm just going to take a sip of water. My mouth feels a little dry. Thanks. Well, I love your numbers because what we see here is because you come from the heart, because you have such a lovingness about where you are and who you are, Justine. It's about moving forward with faith, with understanding that when you put the thought out that this is what you want, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, that the life comes into balance because you have the ability to be able to handle what you're going to take on and do. I want to question whether it's prosperity or whether it is a as you say, a stable job for now. It's like, I don't know. This seems to me like you're moving into a new category of what you do in a different way. Yes, and it's more like you're looking at. I'm going to say it feels more like security than prosperity. And you might want to make a little adjustment in your own thinking about that. Just a thought. So anyway, let's do a treatment on your wanting to prosperity in the direction of where you're heading. I think faith and the ability of what you do to be able to blend things together, coming from your heart and doing what you do, that it's all going to be there. But let's see. I know there is one power in one essence, and I speak my word for Justine, knowing that as she steps forward with faith, with love, with understanding, that the balancing of all the different aspects of her world is done, and through her own lovingness, her own givingness, but also place that in a sense of direction of where she wants to go. The prosperity that she's looking for is there, but it's also the creating the pathway to that prosperity. That's what I see, is that you're creating the prosperity. But to me, it's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's like you're doing some different steps in order to lead you to the prosperity that you want now, where in fact you're laying foundations. And so you don't want to be disappointed because something isn't quite what you were wanting. What you're wanting is this, and you're going to get that. And it's not like, I think it's a very positive thing because it's taking you and leading you to the direction of where you need to go. I give thanks in the knowing of this because I don't want to talk too long on this, because I think you've got it, what I'm talking about here. Faith, because you have love. Faith that it will be brought to you so you balance, and it will lead you to all the prosperity that you want in your life and your world and everything. So it is the giving of thanks and the letting go and the knowing that it is done. The pathway is there. All you have to do is walk it, and it will be prosperous. It will come. It will be there. And for this, I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing that it is true, that it is all done. Wonderful. Thank you. I'm getting a little confused where I am here. Yes. CJ says, thank you. Amplifying healing for everyone here, including you, Norma. Yes, I received that wonderfully well. And she says, I feel that new category. And thank you. Yes, well, my love, it certainly is. Well, I've got a long list here to get through. So, but remember, you're welcome to put things up, but people who come in, oh, Marion, I've got Marion, I missed you in this here because it's so many, and I love it. I don't want to miss you. Her numbers, and I have written down somewhere else here, is 3, 11, and 14, and what for prayers for manifestation. Well, I saw something. I had written something down earlier for you, so, but that's okay. So let's start off with you because you're on the list. Marianne, 3. Is it? What did I do? Did I write that right? 3. Hang on, I lost it. Where are you here? Oh, 311. My pen slipped a little bit and it looked something different. 3, 11, and 14. 3 is the loveness. 11 is the commitment to the journey, and 14 is the balancing of the journey, being in the journey. So we want to manifest what you manifest. I'm going to tell you what I wrote down early for you. To completely have faith in the dream will be a reality. So in other words, there's a thing about faith. that I had. I had kind of wanted to move that in there. It's okay. Let's see what we get. I know there is one power that is in all of us, and I know that I can speak my word into that wonderful power, and in doing so, know what can be. And I speak my word for Marianne. As I speak my word for Marianne, I know that manifestation of those goals and those elements that she wants will be a reality. And the complete faith in the reality, without question, from all levels within the subconscious mind, lines up to allow that dream, that goal, that awareness coming into a reality with such ease and such grace that all the waiting just dissipates, because it's here and it's here now. And it's about knowing manifestation has a lot to do with, it's like a different level of faith. It's like allowing the faith to bring it in. It's like creating a hole for it to come in. I give thanks in knowing this. I give thanks in knowing that the manifestation of Marianne's desire of what she wants to have, to create, to be, is breaking through. It's breaking through a barrier that's coming in, and so that it comes into reality with ease, with grace, and with great joy. I give thanks in the knowing this as I release this thought, knowing it is true, it is done, it is there. Manifestation is occurring right now. And so it is. And so it is. So those of you looking here, Jerry says, thank you, Miss Norma. Good evening. Good evening to you. And good energy to everyone in the chat room. It's good. I think I've got everybody now while I keep on with my books that I've got. But I will look up and see if anybody has written anything into, or anybody new has come in. Okay, next person I'm going to work with here is Tanya. The numbers I picked the numbers. She didn't. I picked the numbers here: 12, 5, and 2, which is the acceptance of what is, and you gaining more knowledge, so that there is a you might say a balance or a new decision can be made in the life. So we're just going to go ahead with the mental mind treatment at this point. I know the one power and the one essence is everywhere, and I therefore step into that power as I speak my word for Tanya. As I speak my word to Tanya, I'm aware, she becomes aware of her own inner strength. And her own inner strength grows because she's able to accept herself fully. And accepting herself fully, it's as though she hears. It's like her ears get unplugged, and she can hear the words of support and of love, of understanding, and so that she can choose to go forward in such a beautiful direction. I give thanks in the knowingness that this growth, this pattern of awareness, as it grows more and more with every breath that Tanya takes, is a sense of perception into the world, into life, into knowingness that is so new, so different. It just brings a smile on my face as I feel the love and the awareness and the joy. So I give thanks in knowing that Tanya is making changes, that the growth of becoming aware of her own inner strength, and that with that is her own inner power, is definitely there. And as she moves forward day by day, that strength, that awareness will grow. And so I release this thought knowing that that's exactly what is occurring and happening, moving forward with strength and love. Okay, next person is Tracy. 2 T's here. Numbers I picked were 7, 3, and 22. leaving behind the old with love and moving forward with faith. Well, what more can you have than love and faith? I'll tell you, those are the two most supportive and aware feelings that we can have as we move forward out into our lives. And this is what's showing, turning your back on the old, moving ahead. And I feel here, is this about her accepting her loving nature, accepting what she has to offer, what she has to give. And she really has a lot to give. But sometimes we have a lot to give and we don't know where to give it. We don't know where to put it or what we do. So as I speak my word for Tracy, I know that this point of time in her life is the ability to accept her loving nature, to accept her knowledge, to accept her awareness, and to be able to distribute that with love, understanding, kindness, and with a peacefulness that is there. She's come to this point, and now it's just a matter of being aware and having faith in herself, having faith in God, I'll say, having faith in knowing, as what I call it, the loving force that's all around us, working through her to create her world with love, understanding, growth, and perspective. I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing that it's true and it is done for Tracy. That is all done in love, sense of purpose. I'm going to do this next prayer for David. Numbers were given were 6, 15, and 22. And so this is all about emotion, confusion, and having faith. Untying from the old and moving forward with faith and understanding and awareness. So as I go into the treatment with this, I truly believe that this is about having belief in self regarding of what anyone else says or even does. It's about claiming your power. It's about claiming your strength, your purpose, your awareness. So as we move into those deeper states of awareness and understanding, and as I speak my word, I know that the inner power that is contained within, it's like an explosion, actually. It explodes and just drives out all belief. Anything that believes that says I'm not good enough, I haven't done enough, I'm whatever, I'm damaged, I'm, any down thought at all. It's like it's like an explosion of light and leaving space that says you are enough, you are sufficient, you are loved. And the awareness and knowledge that you have of faith and understanding fills all that. The lovingness of who you are, the lovingness of being, the lovingness of moving forward is so strong that you believe in yourself. You believe in yourself regardless what anybody says or does around you, to you, or for you. It is like if they're not supportive, there's this one of the plays when they say, I think it was Macbeth, outdone spoth, out, gone, go away. That's what it's like, just does not exist anymore. You give it no thought. You give it no energy. It's like bury and make a place where they get placed, where they just go into the dark, so that you give yourself room to believe and to shine as you need to shine. But the belief in self of who you truly are, which deep down, do not let other people's words affect you. Other people are other people. And if it does, you just take it and you breathe it out and let it go, because it's not your truth. It is their truth and has nothing to do with you. I give thanks and knowing that this is the effect and that the essence from the opening, the loving, the caring, the vision that projects, there is only one thing of being. And that is the words that come through in my ears very loud. I am love. And anything that wants to reject love, they can reject it somewhere else. So we release this thought, knowing it is true for David, that he can believe in himself regardless of what anyone else says or does, because he is the power of him is strong in the love vibration, and that's all he needs to concentrate on. So we release this knowing by saying, and so it is, done. I have another one. I'm doing my mails at the end here for a friend of mine called Shane, who's having a whole lot of surgeries. He called me today. I picked some numbers for him, 17, 12, and 6. 17 is always about balancing, being balanced, understanding the power and having the power within you. 12 is acceptance. So he's accepting the power. But 6 is confusion, because even though he sounds very, very concentrated, some of these have got some life-threatening things that could happen. And we were talking about that. And I said, well, it's a very low percentage, but be prepared, and he's got to be prepared for that. But I felt that a treatment for recuperating from his surgeries with ease and grace over these next few months is perfect. I know the one power and the one essence that is in all of us, and therefore I can speak my word in that power, in that wonderfulness, in that beingness. I speak my word for Shane, knowing that the recuperation from surgeries is done with ease and grace, that the movement of the energy through him, through his generosity, through his sense of being, that everything falls so much in line that he can let go the fear of what if. The what if is what if, because no matter what, he has grace on his side, and he will recuperate from these surgeries with ease and grace to move on forward in his life, to create his next steps, his next stages. I give thanks in knowing this, and give thanks in being all that he can be, by saying, and so it is. Amen. I also speak my word for another male, John 5, 4, and 6. Knowledge needed, letting go of maybe the uncertainty and the fear, but also to the confusion of that uncertainty and fear. I haven't seen that with him, because we've done prayers for him for maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks now. I know there is one power and one essence, and I speak my word for John. And as I speak my word for John, to continue in his physical healing is to move back into his faith and trust, to allow the loving energy to come in and heal as it has done before, to give himself a surrendering to the power, a surrendering to power and not fear, a surrendering to the loving force, and know that his highest and best is activated at any time, no matter what the result, what the ending is, to be relaxed and loving and caring and knowing he's taken care of. I give thanks in the knowing that he is surrounded by love. He is surrounded by the essence of healing, and therefore his faith once more needs to work in accepting that light and love, accepting that into himself in all ways. And for that, I truly say thank you, thank you, thank you, and release this thought knowing it is so. And I think this will be the last one, is for Christine. 7, 4, and 8. Lots of change happening here, but still a little hesitancy. So I know, as I speak my word for Christine and the beautiful power that is there, the importance is to be relaxed and to enjoy what is actually occurring, and not to feel so driven at times and thinking it never is quite right or is never quite happening. I think that it's like when you're on a precipice and there is maybe a rocky bridge in front of you, that you have to walk that wobbles. And it's like taking that extra step of faith. You've got yourself this far, but now you have to cross over this on this little walkway. And sometimes that makes that, it's like all the old fears and the old anxieties come back up. And then we forget that we are part of the whole and that the energy is with us all the time. We are loved beyond measure, and it is in us, it's around us, and we need to draw on it. So I feel here that within the relaxing and the enjoying of life, the fear of what is or isn't going to be is often projected, and so therefore it helps create it, is gone. So she can move forward in her new world, in her new way, in a very relaxed and enjoyable way. I give thanks in knowing this. I give thanks in knowing that she turned a phenomenal corner, and it's going to keep on going, and she just has to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I give thanks for those insights and the awareness and the love and the support there for Christine. So we release this thought knowing it is true by saying, and so it is. Amen. So I think that I have worked with everybody, and that's on my papers and your papers up here. Just want to make sure. And I see, and it was so nice to see Catherine being on the show tonight. Thank you. And I see Kayla wrote something and took it back, and that's okay. It was happy birthday 2 days ago, I think it was. Maggie, always like hearing from you. CJ and Karen, of course, who's always been there and so supportive. And Justine. So you all, and Jerry, thank you also for your comments that come in regularly on some of this work I do. So I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank you for your continued support and the growing of the comments, which is wonderful. And I also want to thank you for if you subscribe and if you like, that helps me on my platform, as they say. I am looking forward to doing this live on Wednesday when I will be live. Same way as like this, because it just seems to be much easier for me these days than doing probably the other way. So I want to give thanks for that. And also, again, Sunday thought I always did that, but I'm going to really work to being right around 9:00. And so 9:00 for Wednesday and Sunday, 7 p.m. BC time for middle mind treatments. Know that you're loved. Know that the force of life is always with you. And just trust that. Go inside, find it. It's there. As it said in my little card here, I trust my higher self. I listen with love to my inner voice. You know your own answers. We all know our own answers. Often we don't like them because it means we're going to have to do something that's a little out of our comfort zone. But if we do it, it usually works. I say usually because sometimes the fear underneath can get in the way. But that's a wonderful, wonderful thing for tonight, is to listen. Know what you know your love. Never let other people interfere with what they say, because it's conjecture, it's projection, everything is seen through your own eyes. And so no matter what you see, it's a part of your experience. I know I began to hear something, and I couldn't, this is years ago, I couldn't comprehend it because it wasn't in my experience, and I had to expand in order to be able to understand it so I could be understanding of it. Anyway, I hope that made sense. I love you all. Thank you. And I'll be back Wednesday morning. Bye for now.